outside? Are you here, Yvette? The Santa Monica Conservancy? The city of Santa Monica, the Los Angeles County Lifeguards, who's going to make sure that we all make it out of here in one piece today. We have worked tirelessly to bring you a full day of activities, learning opportunities, and social interactions, and hope that you will leave here knowing that we honor the legacy of Nick Gabaldon, who was one of the first documented surfers of color from this beach. And Nick was of Black and Latino mixed race. So we feel that this event kind of embodies all of that, and his legacy we'd like to honor today.
Good morning. My name is Greg Rochelle. I am co-president of the Black Surfers Collective. Now what we'll do, everybody, we'll just walk to the water's edge and throw your flowers in. Keep somebody in your mind, somebody that you want to bless. Thank you.
So 7 years ago, we brought hundreds of kids to the beach, and they all ran up to the beach and they stopped. And we're like, come on, jump in the ocean. And a lot of the kids raised their hand. They're like, we can't swim. So we started partnering with the YMCAs so that we could fund swimming lessons that would start in the winter, so that they would take swimming lessons, and then that would end with Nick Gabaldon Day. I think in a perfect world, the kids understand their connection to this ocean. I mean, oceans and water is very spiritual for a lot of people, and it's a place of calm and of welcome. And if people can feel welcome when they come to the beach, if they understand how they impact the health of this coastal system, then that's a great lesson learned.
Okay, so this beach was the place where African Americans would hang out during the Jim Crow era. Do you guys remember, did you learn in school what Jim Crow era means? You did what you learned. Okay, what's your name, sweetie? Una says that, and she's right, that the Jim Crow era was when black people were not treated the same way as white people. So do we know what the time period was? Very good, very good. So in terms of the Jim Crow era, all the years that you guys spoke of, that was encompassing of the time when we had lots of discrimination in the United States against black people, and it really started around 1900 and went to 1965, depending on where you were in the country.
So the 1920s was just one of the early 20th century waves of African American migration. And it was one of the larger waves, but even by the turn of the 20th century, Los Angeles area had the largest number of African Americans in the West. What brought people to Los Angeles and to California in general was the California dream, just like everybody else had a California dream of new opportunities in terms of their life. That could be employment, it could be getting away from Jim Crow discrimination. It was warm here. They heard about and saw pictures of the beautiful scenery, and that's what attracted them to here, all these life opportunities.
So right here, the County of Los Angeles was getting ready to do a beach nourishment program. And so they mapped out the beach, and they happened to identify that this was where the colored people used the beach. So just think about this. We're going to walk over to the monument, but think about this, what you looked at here, and then we're going to walk over to the monument, and then I'm going to tell you something more about that.
What I see is this. I see kids that have never been to the beach, number one. So that's experience in of itself. Then they get out there, and then they see people in the ocean surfing, or playing with nature, or just in the sand, or on a boogie board that look just like them. And they're like, man, Mr. Griffin, yeah, you're going out there.
Do y'all know how to swim?
No. Yeah. I don't know how to swim. For sure.
You can swim?
I would like to.
Who's gonna?
For sure.
Oh, are you the expert swimmer?
No, I'm the best swimmer right now.
All right.
I can't swim with
right? So they're meeting other kids. They're meeting their future classmates in high school, in college, doing a business deal together, sports rival, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they're just getting exposure. They're getting outside. You know, too many kids are doing this.
What are some countries you want to visit?
I want to visit Wakanda.
Me?
I want to go to Africa.
You know, Surf Bus Foundation's North Star is to address the legacy of segregation in the county of Los Angeles. You know, the ocean is for everybody. It touches every continent. And here in LA, the water here needs to reflect Los Angeles. And at the moment, it doesn't. There is a thing that surfers live by called the Surfer's Code. And it was written out by a legendary surfer from South Africa, Sean Thompson. There's 12 tenets, and one of them is I catch a wave every day, even if it's only in my mind. I take that to mean that, you know, we can't stop waves, but we can learn how to surf. When we bring our youth out to the ocean, it is amazing to watch the kind of athletes that kids are. It is amazing to watch kids from different neighborhoods and how they approach the ocean. Like, it's as much for me as it is for them. I learn every single time I watch a kid play. And it opens up the whole world. Like, we don't know what we're missing because we don't have the diversity in the lineup that the ocean is for.
I got started with surfing through my skateboarding. I was a skateboarder back in the 70s and had friends that I met through skateboarding that were surfers, and my boys and I, we all grew up in South Central, and we went to the beach, got boards, and started surfing. I've met people from all over the world in the water. When I'm surfing, I might be with somebody from Japan, somebody from Mexico, somebody from Eastern Europe, somebody from Hawaii, somebody from Germany. You may not even be able to speak their language, but you can communicate with them and have fun with them in the water. And one thing that I know is it's here for everybody. And there's a lot of people that grow up in town that they don't know. They don't know about the beach. They don't know about some of the areas that are available to us. You grow up in LA, you think that your neighborhood is what's there for you, but there's plenty of things that you can do. And so for me, just bringing the youth out to the beach from East LA, from South Central, from the Valley, bringing them out here for Nick Gabaldon Day, which we have going on right now, it's important. It opens their eyes to what's available to them.
Yeah, well, I actually moved to Santa Monica in '88. I actually grew up in LA in the Silver Lake Echo Park area. But my family is from Santa Monica. The roots started here. My great-grandfather started a church on 4th and Bay Street. My grandma went to Samo High and graduated in 1924. I've played every sport, and I've played at a pretty high level, but nothing compares to surfing. And no matter how good of a surfer you think you are, the ocean's always in charge. Surfing is one of the greatest sports because it's like walking on water, but you're actually flying down the wave. You're on that wave and you're flying down the wave. It's more than walking on water, you're flying on water.
Okay, say it again louder so they can hear you.
The Inkwell, a place of celebration and pain.
Okay. Now, one of your other mates.
Ray.
Okay, so then you read the next section loudly.
In the 1940s,
Nick Gabaldon,
a Santa Monica high school student and the first documented black surfer taught himself how to surf here.
All right. Did you guys hear him?
Yes.
Okay, so Nick Gabaldon grew up in Santa Monica. He was born in California. He was African American and Mexican American. Now there were other people surfing that were of color, but he's the one that we got paper on. And he's the one that we have stories about because he surfed with the white kids up at Malibu. He's one of the reasons why we do this day, Nick Gabaldon Day here, to commemorate all of the African Americans and Mexican American people and anybody else who have been marginalized by the American culture before, to demand their access and rights to use the public beach here in Santa Monica and at other places. Then you guys are going to go and get your wetsuits on.
Everybody gather. Larry, put the towel down and get with you.
What's up? It's your boy, Omar.
This your first time surfing?
Yeah, this is my first time being at the beach. The beach, I think. The beach and...
This your first day at the beach?
Yeah, the beach.
How old are you?
8.